Enemy contact.
Mission accomplished. All enemies are down.
We're under attack. Enemy dead. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Cover me, I'm reloading. Enemy contact.
Mission failure. All of our forces are down.
Reloading. Go, go, go. Enemy down. Move, Tango down. I'm taking fire, need backup. Reloading. Go, go, go. Move, move. Enemy down.
All enemies are down.
Enemy down. Move, move. Enemy down. I need help. Move, move. Go, go, go. Tango down.
All enemies are down.
Cover me, I'm reloading. Move, move. Enemy down. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Enemy down.
All enemies are down.
I need help. I need help. Enemy contact. Move, move. Enemy down. Roger that. Cover me. Reloading. Move. Go, go, go.
Mission accomplished. All enemies are down.
I'm taking fire. Need backup. Move, move. Enemy down. Go, go, go.
Mission accomplished. All enemies are down.